Hey, Arcturus here. Today we're looking at the LEGO Star Wars set, Paz Vizsla and Moff Gideon Battle. This set, of course, comes with Paz Vizsla and Moff Gideon, as well as 2 Imperial Praetorian Guards. And it's a nice little set. It's got a sort of watchtower here that, as you can see on the box art, has the stud launchers. And it has a nice little storage area where you can store all the studs to be launched, which I thought is nice because sometimes they're just there and floating around. You get the typical crate with thermal detonator. This one does not have the Imperial text on it, but it does have the room for a thermal detonator, which is nice. There are a couple stickers in this set. There's these 2 are stickers, and there's some stickers here and here, as well as one more on the inside here, which is a nice red sticker that I haven't seen before. But these, I think, have come up a few times, and there's some here on the other side of that gate, and of course some here and here. This is the typical computer piece. There is also a lamp, which I have not seen in a Star Wars set that I remember at least. And then on the back, you just have the back of the Lego. There's also a piece where you could attach this to something else or attach a weapon here if you preferred. Oops, let me not drop it. You can, of course, lift the gate, and it will stay open. There's a little mechanism here on the back that lets it drop. And from the other side, so you get up and then it drops. Nice, simple build for that mechanism, but it works well. And I think it's a nice, solid drop. It's not like slowed or anything. It just drops immediately, which is nice. Sometimes they have them set up to drop slowly, but in this case, I think that's pretty good. For Moff Gideon, he has some very nice armor printed on his figure. And he has a jump pack here, the Imperial style, as opposed to the Mandalorian style, where it's got the missile on the back. But I think it works pretty well. It's got that nice printed piece there with the white or gray there on black. And then he's got, of course, those very nice detailing on the front and that very nice helmet. He does have a face and another face, and that's important because the others don't. So the helmet is actually pretty cool. It very much reminds me of a Zabrak head for Darth Maul with the horns that he would have, with the little horns built into the helmet there, which I thought was pretty cool. It does have a bit of a gap where you can see the headpiece between the helmet, which I think if they're going to have this backpack here, they're going to have this backpack, they should have some like little shoulder pads built on, but this is a piece I've seen before, although I think it was in white. I can understand that they were probably not making a brand new piece for this one, but it would be nice to kind of fill in that gap there. And here's the back of his torso. So up next, we have Paz Vizsla, who has this nice little heavy weapon blaster that you build with the heat showing on the end there, which I will remove. It is fully assembled. It's not like half assembled like some of them where you add something to a pre-built blaster. You actually do assemble the whole thing, which is pretty cool. It would be cool if they built or printed a piece for this as well. I think that would be cool as well. They don't. So we build it, and it's a nice little build. He has a much larger style jetpack using a nice yellow brick there. He does, as you can see, have helmet holes. However, unlike Moff Gideon, the gap on his helmet is not as bad. One, because he has this armor piece, which has some very nice detailing there on the side and the front, but nothing on the shoulder. But also because he does not actually have a printed head. He just has this black headpiece, which works really well because it basically implies shadow, which I think works pretty well. And I just launched that across. So I will just take off his shoulder armor, which I think is pretty good. It does have 2 connectors here on the side, or on the back. It does have 2 connectors on the back. You can attach that jetpack. But it's a very nicely detailed minifigure. You can see all the details there. in silver that are kind of hard to see here on the camera without the light being at quite the right angle, which I think is very nice detailing. Some little yellow there on his legs and some footprinting. And then here he is with the back. And you can see without the armor there, that gap is a bit more noticeable, but not too much so. And Moff Gideon did not have no helmet holes on Moff Gideon. I'm actually kind of surprised. I think it's just the mold has, you know what, I'll just leave them there. I think it's just the mold for the Mandalorian helmet has the holes in it because he did not come with any of the usual visor or radio style attachments that you normally get when you receive the helmets with helmet holes. So up next, we have our two Imperial Praetorians. They both have two built electro staves of different kinds. I guess one's probably like an electro sword, whereas the other is an electro staff. Both are very red and are identical. So we will just take a look at the one. So there's some nice detailing on the figure in black on red, which is always a nice color combination. And much like Paz Vizsla, they do not have a face. They just have a red headpiece, which works. I think that works well with the red armor because that does make that gap a lot less noticeable because you don't see the skin tone underneath it. I do think it would be better if they fit a bit more like the Stormtrooper helmets because those fit very well. But they are not what we got. So overall, I think these are pretty cool. If you like any of the characters in this, I think it's a pretty nice set to pick up. It was on sale on May the 4th, which is when I picked this up. I presume it will probably go on sale again. I don't know how popular of a set this is, though, so I can't speak to that. I thought it looked cool, so that's why I picked it up. And I was right, because I like it. And it was also fun to put together. I do like that little gate mechanism. I think it's quite nice, just how solid that sounds. It's a nice solid sound for it. Well, that's all I have for this video. I will see you next week with another video, and don't forget to like and subscribe.